Wow, what a weird game that was, with so little quality, but Liverpool have still managed to find a way to get the win in this game. There were controversial decisions, there were red cards, and there was so much more in this game. If you enjoy this, it'd be great to subscribe to the channel as well as liking the video. Spurs really struggled to create anything in this first half, as well as Liverpool, and that was because of, I think, Liverpool's low block. And this is a real criticism of Spurs, especially at home. They can't get at sides, and they're very timid, and they don't offer enough creative threats, and I think that cost them in today's game, especially in that first half. Second half, it was better, and that was because that Xavi Simons got sent off in this game. It did change when Xavi Simons got sent off, because they were no longer having to sort of break down Liverpool as much, because Liverpool were flying players forward in this game. And look, is this a red card? For me, it is. It's just I have a problem with sort of the inconsistency when it comes to these sort of challenges. I don't know if that every time would be given as a red card, but I do think that definitely is a red card. It's a dangerous tackle on Virgil van Dijk. There's no doubt about this. I know he's slipping to an extent, but you can't be doing that, because he really didn't need to make this challenge at all. And it did feel a bit like a challenge of frustration. It was poor decision making. Spurs did manage to get into half time though, despite being down to 10 men. And I thought in this first half, something Liverpool need to do more was first of all get the ball more to Kirkies and Bradley and sort of get them in behind, because the strategy for Liverpool is to pack the midfield and sort of use the fullbacks as sort of overlapping. I think we need to use them a lot more. When Kirkies have had chances to get the ball in the box, I thought his quality of delivery could have been better in this game, especially in that first half, and from Connor Bradley. So I think that's something that Liverpool need to look at, and so how can we improve that? And I think partly it was the fact that we didn't have enough players in the box. I did think this improved definitely when we got Isak on at half-time in terms of having another man up front. This was a good change in my opinion, taking off Bradley, who may have an injury. He got through the end of the first half, but it looked like he was still had a knock, so we decided to take him off, move Szoboszlai to right back. I think this was also work because Szoboszlai's got a good quality of delivery from the right back position. He was going to have a lot of ball from right back, because we were going to dominate it because of Spurs being down to 10 men. And sort of having an extra threat up front. And Isak did score for Liverpool in the second half. And this is a poor mistake from Romero, there's no doubt about this. It's a poor ball that he really doesn't need to play, and it's intercepted by McAllister. And it's a very good reverse ball from Wirtz when he receives it into Isak, and Isak puts Liverpool 1-0 up. It's so unfortunate that this did result in an injury for Isak. That for me looks like he'll be out for at least sort of a month. It looked like a very serious injury. Could be more. Could be a twisted ankle, could be a twisted knee. I think, but it's whatever it is a concerning injury for Isak. And then Liverpool decided to bring on Frimpong. I thought this was a good change from Liverpool. I really did. I felt that this is actually what we sort of needed. I like the fact that Frimpong played as a winger, not a fullback. I thought that Szoboszlai was doing well at right back, and I thought that may offer good chances on the counter-attack. Spurs were eventually going to have to attack more because they were 1-0 down. And Frimpong's ball into the box that eventually arrived to Hugo Ekitiké did give Liverpool that second goal in this game. Now, there are questions of, did Ekitiké push Romero in the back? Once again, I did feel Spurs sort of got unlucky with some of these decisions once again. For me, I actually think that probably should have been disallowed. I think when you have two hands on the back of an opponent player, I think automatically you're looking at disallowing this goal. And look, as a Liverpool fan, I don't want that to be disallowed, but I think you've got to look at it and say, I think he's probably got away with that, Hugo Ekitiké pushing him in the back. Either way though, it's actually a very good header from Ekitiké into the top right hand corner. From there, all you need Liverpool to do is sort of just control the game, which once again I think we failed to do at points, and it does eventually lead to Richarlison making it 2-1 for Spurs. And it's terrible defending from Liverpool. They just can't clear the ball, and it's just very much what we've seen all the season so far. And this is probably my main concern, main criticism from this win for Liverpool, is the fact that we continue to sort of have these sort of moments where we look really terrible defensively, mistakes from Van Dijk at the back, which is something that usually is so rare. And then after this happens, Spurs start to mount the pressure on, despite having 10 men on the pitch. And it felt like Leeds again, where we're going to concede. It wasn't convincing from Liverpool, especially the fact that Spurs eventually went down to 9 men. This time, Cristian Romero being sent off for a kick out against Konate. I thought Konate was about to get sent off, but no, it was Romero. I mean, you can't be kicking out like that once again. I do think, once again, maybe Konate could have been sent off for that sort of elbow in the head, but I do think it is an accident. I don't think that would have been worthy of a yellow card. A lot of players getting frustrated, a lot of players getting booked, and I did think the referee really lost control of this game today. I think he started handing out yellow cards too often, and from there it just sort of, I think, just turned into a really poor game in terms of the quality. It was entertaining because of sort of all the drama that happened throughout, but Liverpool really weren't at their best. Spurs weren't at their best, and based off the first 30 minutes, which was actually sort of the quality that we saw throughout the game, it was a terrible game to watch, and only got sort of interesting because of the red cards, because of the drama that happened throughout in this game. So then here are the player ratings for Liverpool and Spurs, starting off with Liverpool, and for the keeper, Alisson. I'm going to give Alisson a 6. I thought it was a solid performance from him in goal. We didn't have to make a huge amount of saves considering the pressure we put on out under at the ends. On Bradley, I thought Bradley was solid today. I'm going to give him a 6. Virgil van Dijk, I thought Van Dijk could have been better today. It wasn't the Van Dijk performance that I think we wanted to see, but he was still decent. I'm going to give Van Dijk a 6. Same with Konate. Konate made a mistake sort of in the first half, Colin Mawani, and let Colin Mawani through on goal. I'm going to give Konate a 6 as well. And Kirkes, I thought Kirkes was alright as well. I'm going to give a 6. I think everyone in the defence made mistakes at times, but overall were pretty solid. I thought Kirkes could be better on the ball. Graven Birch, I thought Graven Birch was good today. He played a couple of crucial passes into Wirtz, and I thought he created some chances throughout in this game. I'm going to give Graven Birch a 7. Curtis Jones, I like Curtis Jones when he sort of drops in between the centre halves and sort of able to sort of drive, pick out passes, but he wasn't at his best today. I'm going to give him a 6. And same with McAllister. Still not the McAllister of old. He's still really struggling in that midfield. And right now, you probably have to say he's probably the weakest player in that midfield. Wirtz, I thought Wirtz was probably the best player on the pitch today for both sides. I'm going to give Wirtz an 8. I thought he was a real threat, played that good ball into Hugo Ekitiké to put us 1-0 up. But I also thought overall his sort of passing was good, and I thought he was a threat throughout. He could have scored as well in this game. Then over to the right-hand side for Szoboszlai, I'm going to give Szoboszlai a 6. Not a great performance from Dominik Szoboszlai. He definitely could have been better in this game. Hugo Ekitiké, I'm going to give Hugo Ekitiké a 7. Obviously scored the goal. There's questions around, should that goal stood? Well, he got the goal, so I'm going to give him a 7. Then onto the bench, Isak. I thought Isak was good. He took his one chance after and then got clattered. I'm going to give Isak a 7. And Frimpong created the chance for the Ekitiké goal. I'm also going to give him a 7. And then for Slot. Now, once again, Liverpool went 1-0 up through a mistake from another team. And that's what is a bit concerning. That wasn't a brilliant football. It wasn't a brilliant quality play. It was because Romero gave the ball away in midfield. So that is still a concern for Slot, I think, as the manager. I'm going to give Slot a pass, Mark said, just a 6, because all the other players sort of had a 6 performance. I think Slot will be frustrated the fact they didn't play better, considering Spurs had 10 men for a lot of the game and 9 right at the end, and they were still under constant threat throughout. That's the last 20 minutes of play. So for that reason, I don't think he deserves a higher rating, and I just want to see us, I think, just sort of go 1-0 up, go 2-0 up through us creating a really good goal, which I don't feel like we are seeing enough of right now. We've got the Spurs player ratings. In goal, Vicario, no, he didn't make any standout saves. A lot of shots that he had to deal with were sort of unsavable. I'm going to give Vicario a 6. Pedro Porro, pretty good from Porro. I'm going to give him a 6 as well. Romero lost his head, poor on the first goal, poor pass, and overall just wasn't where he needed to be tonight. I am going to give Romero a 3. I thought he was poor in this game. Mickey van der Ven made some challenges, actually made up for Romero at points in this game. I'm going to give Van der Ven 7. And then we've got Jed Spence. I think, actually, now I think about it, probably the best player on the pitch, not Wirtz. I'm going to give Spence an 8. We've got Bentancur. I thought Bentancur was good today. I'm going to give him a 7. Archie Gray. I thought Archie Gray could have done better. He went a bit quiet in that midfield. I'm going to give him a 5. Kudus. I'm going to give Kudus a 5. I thought he lacked creativity in this game where Spurs needed it. And I think he's just struggling right now to really play at his best, like all of the Spurs players. He is a good player, though. We saw that at the start of the season, especially. Xavi Simons, I'm going to give Xavi Simons a 2. Got himself sent off, really let down the team, and wasn't good before that sending off either. It's not like he was playing really well and he just made a really stupid decision. He actually had made a stupid decision and was playing poor. And Colin Mawani, I'm going to give Colin Mawani a 6. Behind a couple of times, especially in behind Kanate in that first half, but wasn't able to convert any of the chances, and it was just an alright performance. Unlike Richarlison, who in sort of the 15 minutes he got, I'd probably give him an 8. I thought he works really hard, made himself a usage, which he always does, and scored the goal to get Spurs back into the game, and I think that's a deserved player rating for him. Thomas Frank, I'm going to give Thomas Frank a 5. He didn't get the result he was looking for. I thought in the first half, once again, Spurs had the same issues of lacking creativity. I thought when they went down to 10 men, that improved actually, because they got more chances on the counter. But still, Spurs are having the same problems in terms of breaking down opponents. And I do think that he is going to get sacked eventually, because I just think that Spurs fans are going to get fed up quickly. You know, your thoughts on this video as well as this game. What were your notable performances? What were your things that you thought stood out in this game? And if you enjoyed this video, go subscribe to this channel as well as liking the video.